Gazvach, we just celebrated the Shabbos Mevarchim Sivan. Shabbos that blesses the month of Sivan, and among the unique things we know about the month of Sivan is that that's the month when Hashem gave us the Torah, and it's not just something that happened in that month, but it was a result of something that happened before on the first day of Sivan. On the first day of Sivan, we arrived at Mount Sinai. And the Talmud says, when we arrived at Mount Sinai, we were like one person with one heart. And Hashem said, now is the time I can give you my Torah. Till that point, there was arguments and discord, and the Torah couldn't yet be given because there was that discord. But because when you arrived at Mount Sinai, one person with one heart, therefore Hashem said, now it's time, now it's possible to give you my Torah. So this is the time we need to focus on increasing our Avos Yisrael, our love for our fellow Jews, our unity. Unity means that not just to care, but as we discussed last week, to take another person's burden on yourself. You feel it's not their burden, but it's yours. So I want to share with you a few stories, which I think are very relevant also the time we're in, waiting for the salvation of Hashem for all our brothers and sisters at Yisrael, and the salvation of Mashiach. I'm going to share with you a few stories about the Rebbe Marash and his efforts in bringing an end to the various pogroms that were happening in his times. They were actually organized by the government. The government itself organized these pogroms, and Rebbe Marash was very influential in stopping these pogroms. It's it's amazing to see how courageous he was in the face of at that time the Tsarist government, but also as we'll see, there's something connected as well to the idea of Avos Yisrael. The Rebbe Marash traveled to Petersburg many times to try to convince the government to stop the pogroms. And after there was a certain pogrom in Kiev and in Yezhin in the year 5640, and the Melaveh Marash, after that pogrom broke out, he immediately traveled back to Petersburg. After he returned already from another trip, he went right back. And so he had a connection to a certain professor named Joseph Burtonson. And through this connection, he was able to meet the interior minister. And he was very aggressive in his conversation with the minister. To the minister, you promised that you would put a halt to all these pogroms. And you said in no uncertain terms that you're not fulfilling this promise is going to cause an outrage among Jews abroad. So the minister responded to the Rebbe that he is well aware of the great powers of Jewish capitalists, but he says that Jewish capitalists don't really care about Russian Jews. And they really don't like, in fact, they hate rabbis. That's what he told the Rebbe Marash. The Rebbe Marash was reacted very strongly to this. He said to him, you're not familiar with the psychology of the Jewish people and with their brotherly love. He said to this minister, he said, I am getting requests and inquiries from influential capitalists abroad, and they're asking me how they should react to the tragic news that is happening now to Russian to the tragic news about Russian Jewry. They're asking, said the Emirash very pointedly, what they could do to ensure the safety of Jewish lives and property in Russia. So the minister asked the Rebbe Marash, what do you mean? He said in a very angry tone, what do you mean by this? What do you mean you're getting inquiries from these capitalists? So the Rebbe Marash responded, I will not reply until I hear the government's answer regarding my mission about this situation. So the minister, interior minister of Russia, he says to Rebbe Marash, Lubavitcher Rebbe, are you threatening the government with reaction of foreign Jewish capitalists? So Rebbe Marash responded, you don't need to take, the minister doesn't need to take this as a threat, but you should consider this as a fact. Non-Jewish capitalists will also support this. Humanity in general reacts strongly against such barbaric deeds. So the minister asked the Rebbe Marash, does this mean that the Lubavitcher Rebbe, with the assistance of foreign capitalists, please put yourself on mute if you're not yet. Thanks. Okay. Does this mean that does this mean, he asked the Marash, that the Lubavitcher Rebbe, with the assistance of a few foreign capitalists, is about to cause a revolution in Russia? So the Rebbe Marash responded, the Russian government officials themselves will eventually cause that to happen with their negligent bureaucratic leadership. So as a result of that conversation, that evening, the Rebbe Marash was put under arrest in his hotel room in Hotel Sarpinsky on Zabelgansky Boulevard. I don't want to lose my American passport and pronounce that correctly. But he was in Hotel Sarpinsky in Zabelgansky Boulevard. He was there for 2 days in house arrest in this hotel, and on the third day, he was allowed to leave. He went back to the minister to ask him if there's a reply about his mission. So the minister said, I'll have an answer for you in 2 weeks. So this whole story was shared by the Rebbe Rashab, the previous Rebbe. He told the previous Rebbe that you were born a few days after my father returned from that trip on the 12th of Tammuz. At the feast of your bris, which was the 19th of Tammuz, my father, the Rebbe Marash, was very happy. He said Chassidus. He sang many songs. But at the conclusion of the feast, the Rebbe Marash began to meditate very deeply. And he sang the famous song of the Alter Rebbe that has 4 stanzas. That's a song that, in general, is known to create a time of divine mercy. It's known when you sing that song, you can ask Hashem for anything you like. So he sang that tune with a very nostalgic and bitter tone. And everyone was very frightened. And after he finished singing, he became even more deeply engrossed in his thoughts, and his holy face took on a very serious appearance. And after some time, he began to tell a story. He said, when I began to participate in my father's activities, meaning the Tzemach Tzedek, the third Rebbe of Chabad, in communal efforts, I asked my father, Tzemach Tzedek, for success. So my father, Tzemach Tzedek, answered, a blessing is like rain. If the field is plowed, if the field is planted, then there's rain, and the rain can better the growth of the produce. But before the rain, there has to be plowing and planting. Only if you do all that needs to be done for the public benefit will a blessing cause success to your work. So then Marash continued and said, the Jewish people in our country are in troubled times. We needed the mercy of Hashem. So Hashem should take pity on us and send us salvation. And he said, I have done whatever I can. I have plowed and planted. And now we need the rain, the blessing, and may Hashem grant success that our salvation should happen. So in the end, his mission was successful, and peace was again restored to Russia as a result of that mission. That's the first segment that I wanted to share. But there was another mission that he went to Petersburg for the same purpose, to stop the pogroms. And this mission we know about because of a conversation that the previous Rebbe had with the Rebbe Rashab. The Rebbe Rashab asked the previous Rebbe to do a certain favor for someone. And the previous Rebbe responded after he visited that region where this particular person was that needed the favor. He came back to his father and he said, "I did the favor behidur," which means I did the favor in the best possible way. So Rebbe Rashab responded, "You're making a mistake. You did a favor for yourself, not for that person. Hashem did a favor for that person, and Hashem has many messengers to carry out the intent of divine providence. You did a favor for yourself. Everything a person does is with free choice. The favor that a person does for himself when he decides to carry out a mission for Hashem, that favor is, as the Medrash says, we do a favor for someone else, and then Hashem, or as the Medrash says, more than the rich man does for the poor man does for the rich man. So that's a favor you did for yourself by helping them." And then Rebbe Rashab continued with the following story. He said that in the year 5640, there was a lot of anti-Semitism, and there were pogroms, and the Rebbe Marash traveled to Petersburg. He knew a lot of government officials, but after he's there for a few days in Petersburg, trying to trying to get the government to do something about this, he met a certain official who said that it seems that in order to have the greatest impact, it will be better to have more publicity. Parenthetically, it's known that the Rebbe was not in favor of publicity in regards to Soviet Russia, that making these big demonstrations were not effective, the opposite. That's a different subject. Anyway, so this minister said it would be better if your meeting was with more publicity, and therefore it would be better if you didn't just meet with the interior minister yourself, but if you invited also powerful millionaires and oligarchs and intellectuals to be part of your mission. If there's a little bit more publicity, then the government would probably have a more favorable response. So you should get everyone together, and they should go together to the Minister of the Interior and the President of the Senate, and they should talk together. So in general, the Rebbe Marash never considered the opinion of the wealthy, of the intellectuals, and they actually resented the Rebbe Marash because he never considered their opinion as anything important. But because of what this official said, the Rebbe Marash invited some oligarchs and some intellectuals to his Hotel Staropinski, and he suggested an agenda of and that he asked that they select a group of people to join him in his delegation that would visit the Minister of Interior and the President of the Senate. So one of the top people who came to the hotel, he told them, Marash, he says, "No, listen, we're not chess pieces. We're not chess pieces that you just play around with us. If you consider our opinion important, then our opinion should be important all the time. And if our opinion is not important, then you don't need us now either." That's what he told the Rebbe Marash. The Rebbe Marash responded in the following way. He says in the Megillah, it says that Esther was told about the decree against the Jewish people, and Mordechai requested of Esther that she go before the king and beseech the king to annul the decree. So Esther refuses. Esther says there's rules in the palace, and the rules are that if someone comes to the king without being invited, they get killed. And I have been invited to Achashverosh, to the king, for more than 30 days. So it doesn't make sense for me to go. That's what Esther said. So Mordechai responded to Esther in the following way. Mordechai said to Esther as follows: salvation will come to Jewish people if you'll be silent. Salvation will come to Jewish people in a different way, but you and your family will be destroyed. And who knows if this was the reason that you were chosen for this mission. That's the words of Mordechai said. But those words need to be understood. What was he saying to her? obviously, Mordechai wasn't cursing Esther's family. Esther was Mordechai's niece. He wasn't saying to her, "Oh, you and your family will be destroyed if you don't help the Jews." Um, he said to her, "You and your family will lose. Salvation will come to Jewish people, and you and your father's house, tevedu." Simple translation of tevedu means will be lost. But then Rash translated the following way. He said, "There's you and there's your family. You refers to the part of the soul which is in the body. Your family refers to the essence of the soul, which is in heaven." And he said that Hashem could say the Jewish people many different ways, but you will lose out. You will, if you don't participate and you don't help the Jewish people now. So the soul, the part of your soul which is in your body, and the essence of your soul in heaven, will lose out on this great merit. Okay, that's what the Rebbe Marash told these people, that Hashem will send salvation in many ways, but they have a choice if they want to participate or not. Interesting um, postscript to this event. The Rebbe, our Rebbe, was once talking about the story in a Purim Farbringen, and the Rebbe asked, "Why did Mordechai continue and say to Esther, 'Who knows if this is why you were chosen to be queen?'" What was he adding to this? What he said before. He already told her, "You're going to lose out. Your family's going to lose out." What was he saying to her? So the Rebbe answered like this amazing thing. The Rebbe answered that Arizal says that every soul comes to this world to do a mission. But there are two parts to the mission. There's a mission of the soul that is similar to every other's souls. In other words, all souls have in common that we have to do Torah, we have to learn Torah, we have to do mitzvahs. Then there's a unique mission that every soul has. Every soul has a unique mission themselves. So Mordechai was telling Esther, obviously Esther wanted to save the Jewish people. I mean, she was a great tzaddikus. So much so that the story of Purim is not called the story of Mordechai, or the story of Mordechai and Esther. It's just called the story of Esther. So she was obviously wanting to save the Jewish people. So what was her hesitancy? She was hesitant because she said, "There's no way I could do this. There's no way in nature." What did Mordechai tell her? Mordechai said to her, "You might think that there's other things you could do in your life, other things, but he said to her, this is the unique mission of why your soul's in this world. Who knows that this is why you became the queen? This is not just a mitzvah, and there's any other mitzvahs you could do. This is why your soul was brought into the world. This is the unique mission of your soul to do this." That's what that's what Mordechai told Esther. And similarly, the Rebbe said that when we have to think that you might meet someone today, tonight, tomorrow, and need a favor, and it could be the whole reason your soul is in this world is just to do this person this favor. That's the whole reason why you're here. And again, it's not a favor to someone else, but really it's a favor to yourself, because as it says in the Medrash, more than the rich man does for the poor man, the poor man does to the rich man. Anyway, so getting back to the Rebbe Rashab and the previous Rebbe, after the previous Rebbe did this favor for this person, and the Rebbe Rashab shared this whole story with the Marash, and how the Rebbe Rashab told these people that, you could help or not, but Hashem will help different ways. Then the Rebbe Rashab concluded and told the previous Rebbe the following: "We must always remember that with every good deed we do, we're doing a favor for ourselves. And if a person's aware of who his real I is, the real I of a person." Hold on a second, please. To put the mute on 1 second. So, if a person's aware that their real I is their neshama, then that's their true I, then they do a favor for another person with great enthusiasm. So, with simple faith, said the Rabbi Rashab, and with absolute trust in Hashem, we always have to remember that liberty and salvation and deliverance will come to Jewish people. And Hashem has many ways of many messengers to say the Jewish people. But we have to want to have the merit of doing a favor for another person. As the Baal Shem Tov said, the whole reason why Neshama comes to this world, the highest point of Neshama's visit to this world is do one person a favor one time. That's the whole reason the Shema comes to this world. It said that Baal Shem Tov, the highest point, the highest achievement of the soul's visit to this world is just to one person one favor. So just on another similar vein, Rabbi Saul Brod, that was emissary in Kfar Chabad, one of his emissaries in Kfar Chabad, he was studying yeshiva in Morristown, New Jersey. He had a successful year of learning, and he wanted to. The next year, he was the yeshiva needed someone to take care of the outreach portion of the yeshiva. I think this was in 1973, and there was very active outreach being done by the yeshiva. And the question was who was going to foresee and be involved in that whole activity. So he didn't really want to do this because he was involved in his learning and he thought it would just be a distraction. So he asked the Rebbe what he should do. He put in his note, the Rebbe, what should I take this responsibility or not? The Rebbe responded, more or less, not the words, that the Tzemach Tzedek says, Tez in Torah, or when you do a person a favor one time, it causes your heart and mind to become 1,000 times more pure. 1,000 times it's more refined. So Rebbe said that means that if you go to put on tefillin with someone before you put on tefillin, and then you go put on tefillin yourself, you're putting on tefillin now with a heart and mind that has been refined 1,000 times. On another occasion, to another person, the Rebbe explained what that means: 1,000 times more refined. He said that let's say it takes you 1,000 minutes, 1,000 hours to appreciate something, understand something. In the merit of doing one person one favor one time, you'll be able to accomplish the same thing in 1 minute, 1 hour. Bottom line is, this is the time, this is the season to think about our Ahavas Yisrael and think about other Jews. And the Rebbe Rashab actually told someone in a private audience, just like it's a mitzvah to put on tefillin every day, it's a mitzvah, a biblical commandment to think for 15 minutes every day about Ahavas Yisrael. To spend time every day thinking about other people, what they need, how you can help them. It's a mitzvah every day to think of Ahavas Yisrael. That's what the Rebbe Rashab said. This is the especially true the whole year, especially now, is about to get to the mountain, about to arrive at Mount Sinai. So Hashem should help us all. We should increase in Ahavas Yisrael, and we should merit to see Revach v'Hatzalah Yamla Yehudim, as we said in the Havdalah tonight. Oira v'Simcha Sasim Ikar, light, enjoy, gladness, and honor, be salvation for all our brothers and sisters in Yisrael, for all of Am Yisrael. Kar Mount coming Mashiach. Any questions or comments? All right. Good Devach Abba, good Devach Annie, good Devach Ben Chayil, good Devach Beryl, good Devach Blake, good Devach David, good David, good Devach Michal David, good Devach Yehuda. Devach.